Welcome! Today, we're going to demystify the very beginning of any predictive analytics project. We're breaking down the crucial first steps that turn what looks like a mountain of chaotic data into a powerful, clear glimpse of the future. You ever wondered how some companies just seem to know what you're going to buy next? Or, how they can spot which customers might be about to leave before they've even thought about it? It can seriously feel like they have a crystal ball. Well, spoiler alert, it's not magic. Not at all. And it's definitely not some impossibly complex technical wizardry either. It's actually a clear, totally manageable process that anyone can get their head around. And you know what? That process starts long before a single algorithm gets written. And that brings us to the absolute foundation, the most critical piece of the entire puzzle. Step 1. You have to start with a business case. Before you even think about looking at a spreadsheet, you have to know why you're looking in the first place. See, a business case isn't about data, it's about a question. A practical, really specific question. Like, are we trying to predict which sales leads are going to convert? Or maybe identify which machines are likely to need maintenance? You've got to define the target before you can even think about aiming. Carly Fiorina famously said, "The goal is to turn data into information and information into insight." And that is the perfect way to think about your business case. It's your compass. It guides you on that journey from raw, messy data to that final, actionable insight. Without it, you're just lost in a sea of numbers. So once you've got your question, your compass is set, now it's time to face the data itself. And this brings us to step 2, taming the data.
Look, you almost always start with the data set that's just full of noise and fluff. Think about it. If you're trying to predict customer churn, do you really need a column for their favorite color? Probably not, right? That's noise. Or what about duplicate entries and weird formatting errors? That's the fluff. Data reduction is the art of just carving all of that away, strategically removing the irrelevant stuff so that the real signal, the important patterns, can finally start to show through.
And this slide right here, it illustrates that transformation perfectly. You start with the chaos on the left, this overwhelming, unmanageable raw data set. But after data reduction, you get the clarity on the right, a focused, signal-rich data set that's actually ready for analysis. It is a total game changer. Okay, so now that your data is cleaner, the real detective work can begin. This part is called variable exploration. Here, you're sifting through your focused data to find the specific factors, the variables, that seem to have the most influence on the outcome you're trying to predict. Which clues in this massive pile of evidence actually point to the solution? Think of it like baking a cake. You might have 100 things in your kitchen, but which ones actually make the cake delicious? Your data set has the flour, the sugar, the eggs, but it might also have, a wrench, a rubber boot, and a goldfish. Variable exploration is all about identifying those key ingredients for your recipe and then setting aside the tools and fish that will definitely ruin it. Okay, so we have our question and we've identified our key ingredients. But before we charge ahead and start building this thing, we need a crucial pause. We need step 3, the reality check. This step is all about asking a tough question before you invest tons of time and money. Model feasibility is that critical go or no-go moment. It's where you have to honestly assess, with what we have right now, is a reliable prediction even possible? The entire feasibility step really boils down to this one simple but incredibly powerful question. And you know what? Sometimes the answer is no, or not yet, we need better data. And finding that out now is a massive win. It saves you from chasing a dead end for months. So what are we actually checking here? Well, we're kind of looking back at our previous steps. Is our business case still crystal clear? Is the data we're left with after all that cleaning good enough? And crucially, do those key variables we found actually show a strong enough connection to our goal to be useful? So when you put all these pieces together, the business case, the data taming, the reality check, you don't just have a plan. What you have is a blueprint for insight. See? This is the path. First, you define the business case. That's your why. Then you explore and reduce the data. That's your what. Then you confirm model feasibility. That's your can we. And it's only after you've successfully navigated these first 3 steps that you are truly ready for the next phase, actually building your predictive model. So, the crucial thing to remember is this. All the sophisticated analysis in the world doesn't matter one bit if you get the foundation wrong. The most powerful, game-changing predictions, they don't start with complex code. They start with simple, clear questions. And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Forget the algorithms and the tech for just a moment and think about the potential that's probably sitting inside your organization's data right now. The real first step, that's up to you. So what question will you ask?